What's going on, people? Vape Man here, coming at you today with a review of the SBTR Project Neptune Spear. Just gonna go over the mod real quick. You can check my channel. I did a live unboxing as well as a breakdown of the button housing, and the interior of the mod. So if you're curious about any of that, go back and check out them videos. This is the packaging that the mod itself came in, which is kind of cool. It came with these two clips, and they clip in right here. One that you can put on like your pocket or your belt, and the other one that you can actually put through your belt. I probably won't use either one of them. A lot of people were talking about making this a daily carry, or for their daily carry. It's a little bit too small for what I need, but I do have a use in mind for it. So we'll just set that aside for now. And no, it just didn't come loose like that. It came wrapped up in a really nice yellow microfiber towel. And I guarantee there wasn't no way to hurt it wrapped up in that thing in shipping. Alright, well, anyway, let's get right into it. This is the mod itself. I've been using it for a couple days. I didn't want to do the review right away because I wanted to give you guys my opinion on something that I've used, not something that I'm just looking at and haven't experienced. I got on here the 24 millimeter Apocalypse with the gold deck and the Trinity cap, so I think it looks pretty good. But there you go, with the engraving on the front, the SBTR logo, and the Project Neptune Spear on the back with the serial number. Because I did pre-order, I chose my number, which is 111. That number means a lot to myself as well as my family. Won't get into details on that, but that's besides the point. So anyway, let's get into my overall first impressions when I first picked up the mod and had it in my hand and first used it. So this is day one. Overall score after I'd say about 12 hours of steady use, probably about a 9.5. And the only reason why I'm saying 9.5 and not 10 is because the knurling was kind of rough. Wasn't so rough that it like hurt your hand or cut your hand or really left any significant marks on your hand. It was just kind of sort of uncomfortable, not real bad. So that's why I'm kind of reducing that a little bit. Now fast forward to right now, that score would be a 10 out of 10, which I never have given a 10 out of 10 before, and I feel very confident doing that with this mod. And it moved up from a 9.5 to a 10 because with use, the knurling got smoother. And I imagine as time goes on, it'll happen a little bit more. So I'm pleased about that. Some people were talking about taking a wet sanding it down a little bit to remove that. I don't like the idea of wet sanding anything. I like leaving my mods as factory as they come. I don't Cerakote anything. There's some people that went in with the crayon and went over that, so it left like an inlay in the logo. And as awesome as I think that looks, and I did toy around with that idea because I know you can also take that out, I decided just to leave it the way it is because I love the way it looks right now. The button is really deeply engraved. I'm not sure if you can see it real well on the camera or not. But it's really deeply engraved. I know what you might be thinking, alright, Vape Man, what's up with that? You got a brass mod with a copper button. And that is because I did pre-order, I got the copper button for free as well as the stock brass button. So I decided to put the copper in there just because I like how it's a different look to it. Alright, let's see here. Start with the first process. When I first heard about this mod, it was the latter part of January, early February. All I knew about it was that it was going to be a threadless mod. That's really all the information that they let out about it, because as of that point, it wasn't designed, it wasn't done up. There was really nothing to it except for an idea in Benny's head, Benny being the designer of the mod. So on February 14th, I went ahead and placed my order, paid in full, which allowed me to get that copper button for free. A lot of people at that time that I know personally thought I was kind of crazy for putting so much money into a mod that I had no clue what it was going to look like. And the main reason I did that is because of Benny, because of the designs that he's done in the past, the type of person that he is, and the fact that I just had a feeling it was going to be a grand slam. And I'm extremely glad that I did that, because if I would have fast forwarded till now and said, okay, I want one, financially I wouldn't have been able to get one. So back in February, I was in a place where I could. I went ahead and did it. I'm very pleased with that outcome. I received the mod, I believe, on May 20th or 21st, whichever one was a Monday. My memory isn't that good. And I don't have a recent calendar. Coincidentally, that calendar that I'm looking at is May of 2017, so I guess it's been a minute since we changed it. But anyway, whatever that Monday fell on, it was the 20... Well, hold on. No, I can't do that. Saturday's the 26th, so 25th, 24th, 23rd, 22nd, the 21st is when I got it. So it works out to be where it was exactly 3 months and 1 week from when I paid for it to when I got it. Some people might say, you know, that's a long period of time to wait for a mod. But really, if you think about it, it's not. Because like I said, it was a concept. There was no prototype, there was no mock-ups, there was no drawings, no designs, no nothing, just an idea. And so it was from that to production, or prototype, I mean, all that stuff. The design, the mock-up, the prototype, the fine-tuning, and then the actual production of the mod and putting it out. Especially considering they did run into, I think, like 4 snags with the equipment they had, whether it be the engraver or a laptop losing software or something like that. So if they didn't run into any of them snags, it would have been even quicker. But I'm pleased with the amount of time it took. I'm not mad at all. Both Kevin and Benny were very aware of what was going on and let it be known from day one what's going on with the mod. They didn't leave you wondering. You didn't have to ask what was going on with the mod. There's a Facebook group that I'm in, a couple of them, where they go live or just post videos of, you know, what's happening with the mods, what the progress is. The first look at the mod, what the design was going to be, was done on Facebook. So it wasn't, you know, I wasn't totally in the dark the whole time. If I'd been totally in the dark and had to email and wait for responses and stuff like that, it might have hurt the review numbers a little bit. But overall, I'm satisfied with the mod. Like I said, I think I haven't done too many reviews, but even when I just talk to people in a one-on-one setting and they ask my opinion on something, you know, I'll tell them what I think about it. You know, at the end, I'll say, you know, it's about a 8 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 9 out of 10. I don't think I've ever given a 10, and this by far is worth that first 10. Because there's really, as of this moment, right now, nothing I would change. To take the button out, because I know some of you don't want to have to go back and look at the other videos, which I think you should, because they're pretty good. But anyway, this sleeve right here is what holds the button in on the inside. What you do is you I don't want to flip the camera off, so I'll show you with this hand. You want to move that sleeve back, okay? And then it's got a sweet spot you got to find, which isn't too bad. Just kind of wiggle it a little bit and turn it, and the button comes out. Okay? Now, if you look at the inside of the mod, there's 3 ball bearings that actually hold the button in. Them ball bearings are held in by a C-clamp, I think it's called, or retaining clamp, whatever you want to call it. you know what? I wasn't going to, but let's break this button down real quick. What you do is you take out this insulator. I'm just going to go through this real quick because there's another video where I do this, but I know so many people are curious about it. You take this peak insulator off, which is the locking ring. So now you want to hold the button and the housing. Because if I were to let go of this piece right here, it would come all apart. Now there's magnets in there, so you got to be careful with this. So as I'm letting it slide out, I'm going to hold this magnet so it doesn't go anywhere. And sometimes that other magnet's going to try to come out and smack with the other one. Now, being that fingers were there, it stopped it from smacking together, so it didn't damage anything, which is good. So that's what that's all about. Now, as you can see, that's the button and the contact. There are no threads in this piece at all. There are no threads in any of this. It's just everything, and you don't need any special tools. As you saw, I did everything with these tools, my hands, which luckily go everywhere with me. So if something happens, I need to take this apart and do something, clean it, whatever, I don't need to worry about not having the tools with me. I can go ahead and just use tools that, you know, I have at my hands, which is my hands. But there is no threading anywhere here. It's just from one solid piece of silver. Or, yeah, wish it was silver. Copper. Which I'm sure sometime in the future somebody will have a silver for it, but I probably won't be able to afford that either. But anyway, it's all one piece. And I also have the brass one somewhere. It's actually behind the phone, holding the phone up, so I'm not going to get into that because it'll make a mess. And the video will be all shaky, and I don't want to do that to you. You don't want to give you a headache. Now, when you put this back together, put your first magnet on, and you want the polarity to push that other magnet away instead of pull it towards, because that's what gives you your throw on the button. So you put both magnets on, and then you take the housing, and you let go of the first one, because it can't go anywhere because of the top piece there. And you keep pushing it through, your contact will come through it. And then you take that peak insulator, slide that on there. Yeah. Get down there, Chenzo. Oh. Forgot to push the button down. Like that. And then you just put the insulator on and kind of work it down into the groove so it stays in place. And then you got your button. You go ahead and put it back in your mod. Nope, I didn't have that in all the way. User error. That's it, just as simple as that. Alright, so first day, 12 hours in, score was 9 out of 5, or 9.5 out of 10. As of right now, like I said, it's a 10 out of 10. I'm absolutely thrilled about this mod. There's a lot of ideas going on, I'm sure, between Benny, the designer, and Kevin, who did all the engravings and is responsible for making the Magic Life. And they really did hit a grand slam on this, and I am extremely pleased with how everything came out. So yeah, if you have any questions about this mod, I'm usually pretty quick to respond to comments. So if you want to leave a comment below, you can do that. If you want to send me a, I think you can. Yeah, you can. I think you can send messages on YouTube. But either way, I'll get back to you as quick as I can. If you want to go ahead and purchase one of these mods, the brass is $275, and $10 shipping comes out to $285 total. They do have copper as well, which is $300, and $10 for shipping, $310 total. I'm pretty sure they have both left in stock. Don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure about the copper. I know they do on brass, but I'm pretty sure they do have some in copper as well. I'm gonna put the website in the description below, so if you are interested in going ahead and buying one, you can do so. I fully recommend this mod. In my opinion, it is a game changer. There have been other threadless mods out there, but I think this one is the first of its kind. It's definitely the first one that's used this type of locking mechanism to keep that button in so it doesn't fall out, so that you don't have to worry about dropping your battery. And even if for some reason this button does accidentally flop out, which it's not going to, that battery ain't coming out of there. The only way it's going to come out is if you slide this up again, and your battery will pull right out. But as you can see, if you let go of that sleeve, that battery is just going to stay right there. It's not going to go anywhere. So it's definitely not coming out of the mod on purpose. So that's a nice little added bonus. The one thing I will say, when you first get this, you have to realize that this mechanism is new. Aside from this being a little bit on the rough side, taking that button out and putting it in, there is a sweet spot that you have to find, but once you do, it's simple. And then putting it in, once you get it locked into place, when this device was new, it might have just been this one, but it was kind of a little bit difficult to get this sleeve to lock back into place. I think it just was, you know, something new. You got to wear it in, kind of like a vehicle. You got to allow for that. But now that it's, you know, I've been working with it a little bit and using it, it's simple. You just kind of push it up and there you go. And you're ready to vape. Performance-wise, I think it might possibly be one of the hardest hitting, if not the hardest hitting mech mod I've ever used. And I think I've owned just about a mod from just about every major company out there, with the exception of, I think Rogue is really the only one I've never owned, but I've used one for a week or so. I borrowed it from somebody just so I could use it. I plan on getting one. It's just, you know, something else always comes up. But yeah, I'm extremely pleased with it. Heck of a lot of power. I just got a simple build in there, 6 wrap, 20 gauge, around a 3mm, and ohms out to 0.8, 0.9, and does the job really good. The mod might get a little bit warm. I've never experienced, and I sat and chain baked the heck out of this thing just to see if I could get this button hot, and I tried it with both brass and the copper. None at all. This part of the mod got a little bit warm, but the button, absolutely not. And even with that chain vaping, did it, I mean, steady hard hits right after another, just trying to make it get warm, and then pop the battery out. The battery wasn't warm at all. So I have full confidence in the performance of this mod as well. 2 thumbs up, 10 out of 10 as of today, 9.5 as of 12 hours in day 1. And that's just because, like I said, the knurling was a little bit rough. But as you can see, I my finger across it, and it ain't hurt me at all. It ain't cutting me or nothing. And even doing that on 12 hours day 1, it wasn't going to cut me. It was just, like I said, a little bit rough. But anyway, go ahead and smash that like button. I'd appreciate it if you left a comment and subscribed as well. I'm going to try to do more reviews as I get stuff, which might be a little bit lax here right now because I'm out of work and, you know, can't buy stuff with no money. But anyway, going to try to have some informative videos. If there's anything you guys would like to see from me, let me know in the comments below. And, yeah, that concludes the review for the Saboteur Project Neptune Spear. I hope you liked it. If you did, great. If you didn't, please let me know what you didn't like about it, and I will try to improve that in future. I know one of them things is the camera quality. That is something I'm trying to work on, getting a better camera, because right now all I'm doing is using my phone. But, hey, gotta work with what you got, and that's what I'm doing. So anyway, on that note, I am Vape Man saying vape on, vape safe, vape smart. Vape Man out. See you, bye.